Most sales training, gives that initial energy jolt. But here's the thing, it doesn't really stick. Sales expert Naman Sharma dives into why this approach misses the mark and what it truly takes to drive real, sustainable change that aligns with business goals. You see, sales training often leans heavily on those high-energy, motivational moments. But does that spark really last? Typically, that buzz fades fast, leaving little trace behind. Let's explore why that is and how to ensure lasting impact.
My question from Sales with Naman to all the trainers, to all the facilitators, what after that? 2 days of high energy session and then 2 months of silence. Is it so? Is that what is happening in the real case scenarios? I have been working with corporate from last 22 years, 7 years for precise in sales and marketing, and then last 15 years into sales training function, seeing all the if and buts, seeing all the scenarios, seeing all the session energy breaking into pieces after the training is over.
While motivation in training is good, the real goal? It's all about lasting behavioral change. And frankly, that's often the toughest hurdle for sales teams to jump. Let's uncover why it's so crucial.
How you can bring sustainable, real behavioral change for an individual, for a function, for an organization, and to be very specific in an individual. Now, this question looks very, very simple, but trust me, guys, I have been into sales function. The answer doesn't find easy. This is the most difficult part to bring change. So every time I start my session for sales training, the first flip chart, the first page of the flip chart, I write change. Because change is something which is very, very uncomfortable for any of the participant. And they hardly mentioned it, they hardly raised their hands, putting their hands on their heart that yes, change is difficult, but yes, this is the scenario.
Here's a strategy to fix broken sales training. Start by working backwards. It begins with clear business objectives way before you dive into the content. This shift in approach can make all the difference.
What as a sales trainer we need to do? As a sales trainer, as a sales facilitator, what we need to do, we have to put the reverse gear first. What is reverse gear? Reverse gear is starting from basics. Before doing training intervention, before planning any lesson plan, before planning any content, I say, talk to the business stakeholders. Prepare the business training outcome plan. Every time I go into my session for trainers, especially in train the trainers, I say every training has two objectives. One is the learning objective and the other one is the business objective. And if you are only following the learning objective, half of your sales training session is lost. You have to come up with the business objectives. And that is very, very critical for any of the sales training.
A top-notch trainer? They're not just a teacher, they're a true business partner. You see, understanding KPIs and framing training as a long-term investment unlocks real success. Let's explore why.
Do you know the KPIs these salespeople will perform post training? Do you know the behaviors? Do you know the KPIs which are important for these sales persons? If not, you are just driving the content. You are just driving the engagement. You are just doing the activities, I would say. As a sales trainer, you need to be part of the sales team. You need to understand the business. Product also, you need to understand a sales training is an investment. A sales training is not an intraday sales training. Once again, I repeat, is a long-term SIP. Thank you.
Effective sales training goes beyond that temporary energy boost. It's all about driving lasting change and ensuring it's intricately linked to those all-important business KPIs. Let's dig into the process.